that should be a flagrant foul. Keith Askins going straight up, but when Michael able to hang a little bit longer on the way down, realized he couldn't do anything about it, then taking the hard foul, he got away with it. But Michael said he didn't realize how, let's say, over-aggressive Keith Askins got as a player. But Keith has been in the league now 4 or 5 years. He was that way when he came into the league. It's one of the reasons why Pat Riley and all the coaches that have had Keith Askins like him very much. He works very hard at the defensive end. Will take that hard foul as well.
Dennis Rodman getting set to check in, hearing it from the crowd. It's intriguing to me that as Keith Askins and the rebound is pounded home by Tony Smith. I think back to the days when Pat Riley was head coach of the New York Knicks and Keith Askins was a member of the Miami Heat under Kevin Loughery, the coach of the Heat at the time, and there were several incidents with Askins and the Knicks which really irritated Riley. It's all pointed here as Pippen hits the three. And now, as you mentioned, Keith is one of Pat's favorites.
Oh, you love those guys when they're on your team.
Bulls 81-48 over the Heat. Mourning. Offensive foul. And that is number 4 on Alonzo Mourning.
Well, the pet move for Alonzo Mourning is coming across the lane, and it's the one that the Bulls want to take away from him. But just his quickness, able to get inside and just pushing off ever so slightly with that left arm. But that's the move that Alonzo Mourning makes all the time. So he just doesn't understand right now why he is not getting the benefit of the doubt on that type of call.
Jordan going at Smith. To the fadeaway. Pippen trying to keep it alive, and a loose ball foul against the Bulls. Dennis Rodman. You notice the new look orange and red swirl hairdo on Dennis, unveiling it for the start of the playoffs.
I've been noticing not only the black shoes the Bulls are wearing for the playoffs, but also the black socks.
And the foul on Rodman, who was entangled with Mourning. That is number 4 on Rodman.
Well, the players on both teams right now have to sense, with the score so lopsided right now, and with some players out on the floor who are going to back away at each other as Alonzo Mourning foul from behind.
Look out, Rodman and Mourning having words. Rodman said something to Mourning after the foul was called on Harper, and things could get out of hand now.
And it's up to the players on both teams. It's up to the coaches. The referees are working very hard, and he's Billy Oates. The referee is going to. It looked like he gave the Heat. Rodman.
On Rodman, which is his second automatic rejection. So Dennis ends up playing only 14 minutes. 2 of 4 from the line, just 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and receives a standing ovation as he heads back to the locker room. And here's the toss of the jersey. Looking for a fan, and he will eventually give it up.
He's taking his time.
Late decision by Dennis. Second technical on Rodman, so he is through for the game. And Hardaway hits on the technical foul.
But I was about to say, the players and the coaches have to take it upon themselves. It's their responsibility to come out and play basketball the proper way. And right now, both teams, or a couple of players on both teams, not really concentrating on the job at hand. They're more concerned with who's getting the one-upsmanship as far as the physical play is concerned. As they not only bang away at each other, but also the talking, and that'll get you the technical every time.
Well, the personal foul count here today. Miami hit with 24 and Chicago with 18, so 42 fouls have been called. Alonzo Mourning continues to struggle at the line. He's 4 of 9 at the line. 7 turnovers for Mourning. The Bulls 81 and the Heat 49 with this third quarter coming to a close. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Michael Jordan, despite the man back, playing this entire third quarter. Nice lead thrown by Jordan for Harper. And a timeout is taken. 81-49 Chicago. Will be back at the United Center in a moment. 81-49, a Chicago blowout. Another long night for that man, Alonzo Mourning. And that in the context of free agency in the NBA. And you consider the kind of money that he will receive. I'm sure people are wondering what is going on. But there are not that many quality centers out there.
Well, Alonzo let the Charlotte Hornets know at the beginning of the season that they were not going to be able to come up with enough money, which was somewhere in the neighborhood of $11 to $13 million. And who knows what it will be in the free agent market this coming summer. But there's no question he is in a tremendous bargaining position because he is one of the so-called franchise centers, arguably the 5th or 6th best in the NBA. And I don't think this particular performance today or even the other night is going to affect it one bit. Everybody in this situation, or both teams, or I should say Miami and other teams as well, are looking at the big picture as far as Alonzo Mourning and what he's capable of doing. So far in his career, he has not done anything spectacular, but the potential is certainly there.
And the call being made by Bill Oakes. Offensive foul on Ron Harper. Here's Steve Kerr checking back in. 2:14 left in the third. And the Bulls are up by 30. Ron Harper will sit down, maybe with 4 points and 6 assists. Ron Harper making it back from that sprained ankle injury. Missed the last 2 games of the regular season. Did a nice job in the second half against Miami on Friday night. Mourning trying to use his quickness on Longley. And Luke Longley reacting to number 5 that has been called on him.
And you rarely see Luke show that kind of emotion on any particular play. Michael Jordan coming over very quickly to tell Luke to stay calm, be quiet, realize what's going on out here and how the officials are watching things. Don't get yourself in any trouble. You know, just talking a little bit more about the center situation, Mark, you know, here's Olajuwon is a kind of a player that can go create on its own, but don't forget he has perimeter players, three-point shooters out on the wing, which make his job a lot easier. It's not, a center can't go out and create. He needs players to help him get the ball, spread the floor, make cuts, and make open shots so that particular center can do something inside.
But the concern of Pat Riley has to be, and it was expressed by several members of the Bulls, they felt that Mourning mentally took himself out of game 1 because he was involved with all the banter prior to the series and was responding to the banter on the court.
Well, in the early part of that game, Alonzo Mourning in the first 3 minutes picked up 2 very cheap fouls, in particular the second one a touch foul, and then it was the parade to the bench back in trying to get it going and never could get into any kind of flow because of foul problems.
Danilovic called for the foul to put Kerr at the line. So the Bulls now lead 82-53. It would take an enormous run by Chicago to attain this, the biggest margin of victory in NBA playoff history, which was 58 points. The Minneapolis Lakers did it against the St. Louis Hawks in March of 1956. The final 133-75, a 58-point wipeout. Right here, it's a 30-point lead for Chicago. Matt, did you enjoy listening to that game on the radio?
You did an excellent job.
What am I setting you up now? And again, a foul is called. A lot of whistles here tonight. Bill Wennington picking up his third. Wennington replacing Longley. So the Bulls now have Kerr and Jordan in the backcourt with Wennington, Kukoc, and Pippen up front. 47 personals, 3 technicals handed out by this officiating crew. Alonzo Mourning now 7.